Coach, take me through just two parts here. The fourth down call, the decision not to go for the field goal, and then the personnel package, no Bijan on the field. Kind of just talk me through and walk me through that decision process.
Obviously the play before I go the other way for you, but the play before that, obviously in the third one, we ran a toss to Bijan. Bijan ran the toss outside. We got stuffed on the toss, and then Tyler came in right for him. We made the play call that we're going to throw it. Tyler came in right for him, and we're ready to go with our best play going to Drake on a play that we felt really good about, some things that we've done before in the past and be able to get that off and do those things. But, obviously it was the aggressive mindset. Right there, you kick the field goal. You still leave them a bunch of time to go down and kick a field goal to win the game, holding the ball like Cal wants to do. In order to win those type of games, as you know, I'm sure all your analytics say right there, 100% go for it. And we were right on the mindset of going for it right there, from pretty far out, like analytics at that point, would tell you to go for it in the 4th and 1, no matter where you are in the field. And we don't want to be reckless with it, but we do want to be aggressive. So we took the aggressive mindset and went out there and tried to get it to one of our best players and best moments and some of the routes that he's caught before in his past.
You early in the game, you had Penix on the center for a dive to Algier on the 3rd and 1. Was there any thought of going back to that, as simple as it was, to make it work?
It was always a thought. Obviously it's a thought. And sometimes you overthink it as a coach when you don't want to repeat a play. But that's something that we really rely on as well, something we really feel good about. Obviously a couple of weeks ago, the 49ers stuffed the Rams in a duo play, same type of deal on a 4th and 1 and ended. And they got criticism for it. We came out, had a dive early, and this time we went out there and went for a play that we feel really good about going to Drake on. And they got a great play, and they made a great play, and they're not stopped it. So it's never going to be a good decision when they stop it, but we're definitely going to be aggressive and go for it.
Thank you.
Zach?
Yeah, I've always said, Coach, you guys have forgotten more about football than I'll ever know. So I'm just curious, and if you can educate.
Zach, just go ahead and ask your jerk question and leave.
Well, you've said that Bijan's the best player in the league, so why not have the best player in the league on the field in the biggest moment?
The best player in the league, for sure. Obviously, do you want him in there? Obviously, but when you got a lot of really good players, 1A, 1B, 1A. We just talked about with Zeno. He went out there, and we got a 3rd one earlier with Tyler. They got roles. We have different things that we can do. Obviously Bijan runs some 3rd one situations. He had just run a 3rd one to play before. We got stuffed on the toss crack. We got a lot of really good players on our football team. We believe in a lot of good players on our football team. And Zach, looking back at right now, obviously you want Bijan on the field all the time. And you can easily second guess that one. Don't disagree with you, Zach, if you want to put him on the grass.
That's all.
Joe?
Hey, Raheem. Just wanted to get your thoughts in general on Mike's performance last night.
We lost the game, so nobody played well enough. That's always going to be the case, Joe. Joe, when you come out and you got to do a better job on normal D&D of controlling the game, running the football. When we get in those pass situations, we got to do a better job of finding completions. They came out, played a little more man than we had accustomed to seeing from these guys. They did a nice job, and we got to find ways to get open, and we got to find ways to get completions. And then on 3rd down, we got to be really settled down so we can move the chains and keep the ball in our possession. We had been claiming our identity as a possession-based team, really keeping the ball for about 31 plus minutes or whatever the case may be. And last night it was flipped. We only had it about 27. They kept it to 30. They played the brand of football that we like to play. Actually, we stole it from them. We love the way they play. And they came out there and out-Atlanted us with their own fashion, their own style. So we didn't play well enough. Mike always wants to play better. There's always some good things you can take from Mike's game. A couple connections with Cal Pitts, a couple connections with Drake. A lot of good things in those type of situations. But there's always things that can be corrected when you're a young quarterback. And always things that you're going to have fun correcting him with.
On that vein of finding more completions, I believe the stat was that he was 1 for 10 last night when he was under pressure. And I'm just curious how you feel like you can get him to be at least a little bit more effective. Obviously, those are going to be tough situations for any quarterback when you're under pressure like that. But how can you get more completions in those situations with him so that you can keep that D&D where you want it?
Yeah, obviously, Joe, he has been one of the better players with the pressure throughout the year. And last night was a good night for those guys. We didn't play as well as we had normally played. He had been one of the more clutch guys in the 4th quarter. He had been one of the clutch guys in 3rd downs. He had been one of the clutch guys versus pressure. He's done an awesome job doing some of those different things. So we got to get back to doing that. Last night, they outplayed us. They did a better job than we did. They were the more physical team. They deserved to win.
Mark?
And the same thing with my coach. I know it's hard to make these evaluations in season, and I caveated understanding it's only Mike's ninth game. But the point is, I guess the question is, where are we with his development? Some throws look so crisp, and some throws look just so off the mark. It's hard to see that level of inconsistency and not wonder where he is in his development. I know you didn't see it on the broadcast. They were highlighting his lack of footwork and him using his hips more than his feet to throw the ball, sort of accentuating it as something unique and positive for him. But I'm curious, when you evaluate the film on him, again, only 9 games, but there's a couple of 100 hours of practice. Where are we with his development, his footwork, and sort of the consistency in him delivering the football?
Mark, I love where his development is, number one. But yes, there's always going to be times and places, especially for a young quarterback, when you want him to use his footwork, use the proper footwork, do all the things that you want to do. And those are always the things you're going to consistently fight with a guy with as much arm talent as Mike. These guys with these off-platform throws, his ability to throw from anywhere, his ability to reach people in different areas. But you for sure can always see a little bit of inconsistency when he throws it at times. And that's a little bit who he is. That's who he was in college. That's who he is right now. And he's gotten better and better throughout the process. So I'm loving where he's going as far as his development and, just remaining the fact that he'll continue to get better with all those things, with some of the core fundamentals of his play, just based on the stuff and the work that he does with DJ, TJ and Zach. I mean, I got a lot of confidence where he's going with that.
Zach?
Update on Penix's ankle, leg, and Diablo's arm.
Diablo, I'll be week to week, so we'll kind of get a feel for what that is. He'll miss some time, obviously. Penix will be day to day. Obviously, he's sore, all those different things from the game last night. He'll have a chance to come in. He'll have a Tuesday day off. He'll be back ahead Wednesday. He'll have some type of status, to his report, obviously, when we talk about the health report. But, really feel good about him. He's as tough as it gets. Last night, we were looking at him. When he did get tangled up a little bit, he gave us a thumbs up from the sideline. Kurt was ready to go right there with me. He gave us both the thumbs up. He was able to stay in the game. One of those throws that we're probably talking about is where he didn't have his whole full control in his body and those things of the nature. But got a lot of toughness in this guy. And I believe in him, so I can't wait to see where he is on Wednesday.
Josh?
Josh is.
Yeah, Ray, no, I'm here. I think I found the right button. Was it ankle for Michael? Is that right?
It wasn't ankle. It was some form of a bone bruise that I'll get more information for you as we get it. Obviously, he came in today. He saw our guys, saw our doctors. There's definitely some limitations. I don't want to sit here and lie to you guys and act like I was really locked in to see what it was. I was seeing how fast he can get back and how well he would be. So I'll get all that stuff to you as we get to Wednesday.
And Diablo, is that a break? Is it a?
I know he's going to miss some time. It's probably a fracture, I believe. So he'll miss a little bit of time, but we look forward to getting him back at some point this year.
Any update on Ray McLeod since Friday?
None yet. Obviously going through that process right now, talking with him. But that's a distraction that I'm dealing with. No one else.
Feel it?
And if I,
All right, Josh, go ahead.
Sorry, Josh.
oh, sorry, one more. As the trade deadline approaches, I wonder how you view your team. A buyer, a stand put, how do you approach that deadline?
First and foremost, I love our team, Josh. I love who we are. I love who we can be. Obviously, last night didn't go the way we wanted to go. But the thing I did love is we almost found a way to pull out an ugly win. And the really good teams, they find ways to pull out ugly wins. And when that score was 13-10, and we had an opportunity to do it, particularly in that 4th and 1, or getting the ball back in that critical situation and being able to go down, I thought we had a chance. And those where you want your team to be, but, obviously in this league, Terry, and all those guys in our pro department and all those type of things, they're always looking to upgrade. So, there's nothing dire or nothing that we're going to actively search out, but there's always a possibility of anything that can happen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mark?
Coach, last night after the game, I understand sort of the reaction in the moment when you were asked about the 10 guys on the field on defense and asked how it happened. You said it didn't matter. Now that you've had some time to step away from it, my opinion, it does matter. Do you have any different response as to how and why it happened and what sort of, things went on that was missed?
Oh, for sure. Obviously, that's communication that we got to have throughout the coaching staff, and that's communication we got to have throughout our players. So we got to do a better job of getting all the guys out there. We got to do a better job of getting all those guys out there, and we will. Obviously when I said it didn't matter, I was referring to it being 3rd and 15 and the 3 techniques was missing. And 3rd and 15, that shouldn't matter. You should still have a catch, tackle, get off the grass, not have to waste the timeout that you may need in order to go win the football game. So I wasn't being an angry guy Tuesday. I just was referring to the moment and how I felt about stopping that play.
Sure.
D-Led?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I came across that with you.
I understood the emotion, but generally, again, it does matter why he wasn't
I
there.
apologize. If I can tell you this, if it would have been a corner or a deep dropper in 3rd and 15, I would have called timeout. Or if it had been 3rd and 1 and we had a D lineman missing, I would have called timeout. But when I said it didn't matter, it was like we should have stopped them. That's what didn't matter. With 8 on the grass.
Yeah,
Led.
Coach, with Devon's situation, do you have an update on Troy Anderson's timetable? Could you fast track him? And then Storm getting close to his window, at least getting open.
I say everybody's close, but that means, with that being said, no new news on either. Obviously, if something happened with Storm, I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted, but nothing has happened yet. And nothing with Troy as of yet. Both those guys' status remain the same on IR.